Wow, what an incredible experience to be here today. I have to tell you, for us it's pretty emotional because it all started for us here at TEDx. Last year, if you were here, you saw we recorded a video on the shores of the sacred Ganges in Varanasi, India. And we shipped it in, and then we called in live the day of the conference, and we did a live Q&A. And to come back today and be here after our adventure, it feels like we've come full circle, and what an honor. So thank you so much. Thank you. This is Jackson.
Hi.
Buck.
Oh, wow, that's loud.
And I'm JD. And we created a project called 12 in 12. We went to 12 countries in 12 months and did humanitarian work. And unbeknownst to us, we created a world record. We're the first family in history to have traveled to all 7 continents in 1 year, specifically to do humanitarian work. Thank you. We traveled to Germany, Russia, China, Hong Kong, India, Thailand, Egypt, Rwanda, Tanzania, Kenya, South Africa, Australia, United Arab Emirates, Antarctica, Argentina, Bolivia, Peru, Panama, Haiti, and then we finished up our work in Gulfport, Mississippi, working with Habitat for Humanity. We worked in orphanages, we worked in schools, hospitals, homeless shelters, and with animal rescue. It's a project that has certainly changed the course of our lives. We feel so blessed to have been able to have the experience. This project stemmed from one simple idea, and that was Jackson's idea at the age of 13 years old. And I'm gonna let him tell you a little bit about that.
Hi. So, I'm Jackson. And the trip started really, I was talking to some of my friends about what we could do to make a difference in the world, and I brought it up with my dad when we got home, and we started thinking, and I don't know where the idea came from, like really, we were just talking, but we ended up deciding to go and travel to do humanitarian work, and we went to 12 countries in 12 months, and the whole trip was just amazing. It was great. And I think the most memorable experience was in Beijing, China at the New Hope Foundation, right there. That's me. That boy's Ray Ray. He was one of the kids we spent a lot of time with. I spent a lot of time with him at the orphanage. He had no use of his legs and limited use of his arms, but he was the sweetest kid. Like, he would scoot across the floor every morning to say hi to us, and he was really fun, and he was a great kid. And we spent a lot of time with him and the other kids. It was really hard to leave. Like, that's how it was every month. It was just hard to leave. We spent so much time with the people. And what I learned from the experience is that a small idea can have unlimited power. Where's the no unlimited here? Unlimited power. And I'm really proud of what we got to do. So thank you for having us.
And young Buckaroo also had quite a contribution to our trip, and I'll let him tell you about that.
I asked my dad what I was going to do on the trip, and he said, "What do you want to do?" And I said, "I want to bring Legos all around the world." And that is how I became the global ambassador for Legos. And he said I should write a letter to the CEO of Legos in Denmark, and we did, and then they responded saying they would love for me to be the global ambassador for Legos. And they shipped big, like, ginormous crates about the size of that TV over there of Legos, and everywhere we went so I could hand them out. And my dad taught me the power of a good letter, and all you have to do is put it out there. And now Jackson and I have friends all over the world, and I'm right there in India, actually.
Great. Thank you, Buckaroo. You know, coming home, we received a lot of incredible accolades. We were named American Heroes by the Huffington Post and given our own blog. We were also, by a number of publications, made People of the Year. And for us, that's incredibly touching. But today, I really want to talk about you. Not us. We've done it, and you can go check out our blog and our website. All of the stories are there and all of the pictures. But today, I want to talk about you. I want to talk about creating a dream for yourself. And it doesn't have to necessarily change the world, but it has to change your world. You know, I love being here at TEDx because I feel like this is my tribe. You're my people. You're the people that are free thinkers. And I've been taught, I've been an actor my whole life, and I studied acting with a man named Milton Casellas, who taught me the most powerful lesson in my entire life. And that was to run as quickly as you can from middle America thinking. Truly. And I'm not slighting the middle of America. I love America. But the thinking has got to be changed. You know, I was raised in a country where we were taught to live by the straight and narrow, be part of the status quo, to get the corporate job for the insurance. You know, that's the greatest bit of hooey I have ever heard in my entire life. Get the job for the insurance. My family told me that. People live their lives at a job that doesn't inspire them for the insurance and the 401k and the retirement at 65. Well, at 65, you're so burned out from having a life of no passion that you can't enjoy your retirement. So I want to teach my children to be free thinkers. I want them to think outside of the box. And I want them to pick goals that changes their life and changes the course of the lives around them. So I know everybody out here has a passion and a desire. And I'd ask for you to go out today and think about it. And there are more than one. I've had a lot in my lifetime. But I was taught, I'm lucky that I've been taught that I can do the thing that I'm passionate about. And you know, when it was read, I said, do the thing that you're passionate about. I believe it 100%. And will there be naysayers? Absolutely. There will be people you will come up against who will tell you you can't do it. We had that going on in our trip. I had a student say to me, JD, what are you thinking taking your kids around the world? There are communist countries out there that will put you in prison. I go, where do you learn that? Where do you learn that? I'm going to tell you a quick story. When I was in high school, I worked at a Bob's Big Boy. That's like a Shoney's here, I think. You guys have Shoney's. And I was a fast order cook, and I would sing at the top of my lungs and flip burgers. And there was a manager there. His name was Mo, and he was probably early 60s. A balding man, married, but was having sex with any waitress that would have him. Good guy. And he said to me one day, he said, Lewis, what do you want to be when you grow up? And I said, I want to be a musician. I want to be a singer. I want to be a rock star. And I'll never forget, he looked at me and he laughed. And he said, you can't sing. And you know, in that moment, he was an authority figure. He was somebody I looked up to. He was a manager. And I was a naive, vulnerable kid. And I had a place for that information, and I sucked it in. I went, well, if Mo says I can't sing, I guess I can't sing. And I squelched that dream. I did. I went off to college, and my friends would say, hey, do you want to join my band? And I'd be like, no, man, I'm not into that. And I was scared to death. You know, years later, I worked as an actor, and I started coaching and teaching acting. And I created a workshop called the Artist Weekend, where I take 24 artists into the mountains, and it's a goal-setting weekend. And you look at where your life is at and where it's headed, and you look at the roadblocks in the way, and you set goals to plow through them and get what you want. And in one of those particular weekends, the story about Mo and Bob's Big Boy came up. And I expressed it with 24 artists, and I said, now it's my turn. I've got to do battle with this old thinking that I've taken on. And so, with a lot of fear and trepidation, I set a goal to do an evening of music in front of an invited audience of 50 people at my theater. Well, I can't say the S word in front of my children. Sure I can, but I was wetting myself, and all that old belief system came up for me. It came up for me, and I was like, I can't do this. This is too much. And the day of, I was beside myself. Anyway, I got up, and it's funny because one of the people that attended the evening said, when you came out, you grabbed the mic, and your knuckles were blue. And I stood there, and the first note came out of my mouth, and then it got okay. And you know what? People came up to me afterwards, and they said, holy cow, who knew? You have like an amazing voice. I was like, really? Cool. And do you know, for years after that, I did gigs all over LA in front of hundreds of people as a musician. And we named the band Mo Lied. The point being is, guys, we have holes in us sometimes. We're insecure in moments. And we take on information from people that is not ours. It's someone's belief system that doesn't belong to us because they live in fear. That's not who we are. We're this tribe. We're TEDx people. We think differently. We're people who can, applaud. You know, I'm a single gay man. And 15 years ago, I adopted my first child, Jackson, which changed the course of my life in more ways than I can even share tonight. At 15, wow, holy cow. But 15 years ago, it wasn't the norm for a single male who happened to be gay to adopt a kid. And I came up against it. Everyone I knew, what are you doing? What are you doing? My aunt, who raised me, said to me, why would you do something so stupid? You have this incredible life. You hang out with celebrities. You travel around the world. And I said, yeah, I've done that. And now I want to create a family. And she said, why would you can't do that. And I said, yes, I can. And then my sister from Mississippi piped in, and I love this. You'll get a kick out of it. She said, they call me Chip. My family call me Chip. She said, Chip, who is going to give a gay a baby? Who is going to give a gay a baby? I love my sister. She will kill me for saying that here. But you know what? Years later, after adopting two of my children, who I'm incredibly, incredibly proud of, we went back to visit my sister for my nephew's wedding. And we were sitting in her living room with the entire Mississippi in-laws. And I said, Linda, who would give a gay a baby? You know what? Go out and do it. People will say no, and I'll tell you why they say no. It's not to hurt you. It's not to stymie your dream. It's that from where they see it, it's too scary. My aunt, who told me not to adopt a child, when I went to adopt a second child, she said, why would you be so stupid? You have a great child. And I said, Oma, I called her Oma. I said, Oma, are we going to do this again? We went through this the first time, and it all worked out really cool. I go, why would you do it again? And she said to me, because I put myself in your position, and I couldn't do it. And I go, there lies the ticket. You're an 80-year-old woman. Of course you couldn't do it. I'm a 40-year-old man with a lot of energy. So, the point being, The naysayers aren't doing it to be horrible. They're doing it because they're scared. And you know what? There are two kinds of people. The people that succumb to your fear and the people that go, I'm just going to do it because I have to. It's my calling. It's my mission. When Jackson came home, I guess nearly 2 years ago, and said, Dad, we have this incredible life. How come we're not doing more to make a difference in the world? My initial reaction was, who are you and what have you done with my child? And then I went to bed that night and I thought, I've got to honor this. When I was 13 years old, I wasn't thinking about the world. I was thinking about smoking pot and surfing with my friends. I had no concern about the world. And I thought, here is a kid at 13 years old who cares deeply. I've got to make a powerful statement. And the next day I woke up and we were at breakfast and I said, boys, we got to do something. We got to do it. And this idea of 12 and 12 fell from the sky, truly fell from the sky. And I said, what about if we went around the world and really saw what people need? And they were like, cool, that'd be cool. We had no idea. We didn't have money, you guys. We didn't have connections in the humanitarian world. We had nothing in place other than a great passion to make a difference. And I had a great passion that I wanted to teach my kids to be men that the world needed. And you know what? We put one step in front of the other. And you know, what happens is when you put a pinpoint on the horizon and you make a choice and a statement and you claim it in front of your friends and family, amazing things occur. Things that you would never have imagined come to the forefront. It's because you have a focal point and you're heading in that direction and you're now aware of opportunities that before, when your focus was all over the place, you weren't recognizing. How 12 and 12 began, I got on the internet and I looked up the Peace Corps. I said, they'll know something, they're all over the world. And there was a number for the global, the global director of the Peace Corps. I thought, oh, I'll call her. So I called up, and a guy named Nick picked up the phone. And I said, Nick, listen, I'm a single dad with 2 boys. You're a single dad? I go, yeah, I adopted my kids at birth. He goes, no way. He goes, I'm a single dad, and I want to adopt kids. And I go, cool, you're talking to the right guy. I'm sort of an advocate for it. I do speaking engagements on the subject. And he was like, oh, my God. And we talked for like 45 minutes. And at the end of it, he said to me, do you mind if I tell my boss about your project? And I said, yeah, who's your boss? And he goes, Esther Benjamin. She's the global director of the Peace Corps. I was like, yeah, that'd be good. All right. Nice. 2 days later, I'm in my house and the phone rings. And verbatim, she says, I don't know who you are, but I'm a single mom with 2 kids the exact age of your boys. And I know the value of this trip because my kids have traveled all over the world with me and it's changed the course of their lives. And I was like, who is this? And she was like, it's Esther Benjamin. And I nearly dropped the phone. I was like, anyway, we spoke and she said, anything I can do to help, let me know. A week later, I flew to Washington, D.C., and I had dinner with her. And in that evening, I knew my boys and I were going to travel around the world. She helped me pick 12 countries. She left me on my own to pick the organizations that we would work with, but she was somebody that believed in our dream. And then I told all of our friends and family about this project, and we started to raise money. There was a time, you guys, when it didn't look like it was happening. We created a 12K trail race at the Whitewater Center here, and it looked like there weren't going to be enough people to come. By the way, it's happening in a few weeks. Please come. But we didn't think it was going to happen. And I remember not being able to get out of bed, and I thought, oh, this is not going to happen. My kids have told their friends that they're traveling around the world. We had done news shows about it, and I thought, I'm going to be the laughing stock of Charlotte. And I am going to be the dad that let their kids down, the loser guy. And we went out to dinner one night. I'll never forget this as long as I live. We went to a restaurant. And we were sitting there, and literally the wind was out of my sails. And I said, I was about to broach the subject of, you guys, I don't know if this is going to happen. Divine intervention. I looked down on my phone. There is a message from Yoko at imaginepeace.org. And I thought it was spam. I was like, what is that? Yoko. I hit the button, and it came up, and the message says, I've heard about your project. And in big letters, it said, just go do it. All my love and support, Yoko Ono. And I was like, you know, to be honest, I'm not a huge fan of Yoko Ono. It wasn't like, wow. But Jackson was a huge fan of John Lennon. And I said, it's a sign. And it was the thing I needed to go home and brush myself off and go, let's frickin' do it. This train is unstoppable. And from that moment on, we worked so hard to get it going on. The point is pick a focal point on the horizon. Pick it. You don't have to know how you're gonna get there. I promise you, we did not know, but pick it. It is in the action of actually claiming it and telling people around you to tell them to hold you accountable to do it that starts to create the magic. And yeah, people go, yeah, but that's too intense. In 100 years, we're all gonna be dead. Do the hootie hoo, people. In 100 years, we're all gonna be dead, right? It's true. I chose, and I am choosing, and I hope I'm teaching my children the same way, to choose a life that's incredible, that when I look back on it, I've done the dance. Has it been scary? Has it been a lot of work? Yeah. But you know what? That's why we're here. That's why we're on this planet, to make a difference. And every single person in this room that I'm looking at can make a difference. Every single person here can make a difference. You just have to claim it. You have to claim it. So, and I have to claim that I apparently need to get off the stage. So people are starting to give me the eye. It's like, shut up. I want to just close by saying, there's a Wallace Stevens quote that says, after the final no, there comes a yes. And on that yes, the future of the world depends. Behind every no you get, and believe me, we've got a lot of them. I've had no's my entire life. Behind that no, there's always a yes. And there's always a way and an alternate route to get where you're going. All you have to do is claim it and go do it. And lastly, I just want to say thank you so much to TEDxCharlotte. They have been family for us through our entire adventure. It's such a pleasure to be here today. And I want to thank every single one of you for being part of our tribe, because you're the people that give us the bravery to do what we did. And your support has meant the world to me and my family. It has truly meant the world. For all of the emails that we've received and all of the support, it has allowed us to go, man, we got a family behind us, and we can do more. And that's what we're doing now. We're heading out. We've created a foundation, the 12 and 12 Foundation, and we're helping 12 of the organizations that we had the great honor of working with all over the world. We're helping them raise funds, awareness, and supplies. So thank you for making us braver. We have a big task ahead of us, and I know we're gonna get a lot of no's. We're gonna have a lot of naysayers. We're gonna have to deal with a lot of corporate red tape, but I know that my boys and I are capable of making a difference, and I thank you for that. Thank you. Thank you.